Hello and welcome to another video by Rick Miracle. Hey, got a late start making a video. So I gotta warm up, especially if I haven't made a video in a while. Takes me a few minutes to get tuned in. Anyways, I've been continuing to pay attention to our reality. This is my Rick Miracle year 2025 Rick Miracle report number 19, and the title of this video, Mid-June 2025 Current News Update. So it's the middle of June 2025. Remember what the Deagle report mentioned a few years ago, that in 2025, the United States population would be 87 million. So we got 340 million now. So that tells me about 250 million people are going to disappear if the Deagle report, the government think tank, is wrong. These institutions aren't usually wrong. They know something. You know, I wonder if they consulted with a psychic. Little prediction, prophecy or something. Or maybe time travel is a possibility and somebody went and looked back in time. I don't know. But that's the prediction. And with all the things happening in our world, it wouldn't surprise me if the world we live in experienced some kind of great upheaval to reduce the population. We know they want to reduce the population. The Georgia Guidestones told us. The Georgia Guidestones were blown up in 2021, wasn't it? There's a message there. I've been to the Georgia Guidestones, Georgia, USA. A very dismal place. And I went into the little town right near it. It was a depressing little town with a square, small square downtown, with two obelisks. Not one obelisk, but two obelisks. So obviously a little bit of suspicious things in that area. Kind of seriously occultic. Maybe that's why the individuals who blew up the Georgia Guidestones did it, because if I was living in that town with that kind of image overshadowing everything, the 500 million worldwide population declaration and all the other things, you know, maybe the town was just fed up with it and blew them up and said enough with this. But I suspect it's something bigger than that. Like September 11, 2001, with towers free-falling. It's impossible. They're all steel, concrete, glass. You know, I could understand if part of it broke off or one side busted and because a plane hit it and then it listed over. But both of them completely free-falling. I think you would say if somebody were to calculate the odds of that, it would be astronomical. And then the seventh tower, 44 stories, not that tall, pretty broad and wide, concrete, steel, and glass, it free fell. Now, of course, if some scientist were to figure out, mathematician were to figure out the statistical chances that all three could free fall, that would be beyond belief if somebody could come up with a number. it would be impossible, dare I say. But it did happen because the explanation they give us is false. And if you accept the fact that they were taken down, then the statistics are kind of normal. All kinds of terror attacks going on all the time. But then again, who's bringing us the terror attacks? Apparently, false flags. It's the people who control our world, to control the narrative and the thinking, mind controlling the citizens. Blame it on them so we can destroy them. Blame it on them so we can destroy them. That's what we're living in, with a destroyer cult controlling everything. So then I get the news. I pay attention to my computer or whatever. And it boggles the mind that more people don't see what I see. Press release after press release. Fictional journalism after fictional journalism article. Opinion piece. News. So-called news. It's just insane. So why don't I just get started with the top document? U.S. to get second Dark Eagle missile battery with Mach 5 speed, 1,700 mile range next year. Wow. The powers that be seem to have their own priority system about what they think is important. Let me say this. You're watching this video right now. This is a question for you, whoever is watching this. Is the United States the most wonderful, powerful, desirous place to live, and the rest of the world needs to be destroyed? Let me ask a different question. Is Israel God's chosen country, and for the new Zionist world order, they're supposed to destroy the rest of the world? Or is the Chinese, 1.4 billion people, are they supposed to destroy the whole world and move into all the countries? What about the Russians, India, Europeans, South Americans? Should they rise up? Africans, should they rise up? You see what I'm saying? It's insane. We're all humans. Nobody's better than the rest. We shouldn't be trying to dominate the planet. We shouldn't be prioritizing our money to get these weapons. That's what they do with all of the tax dollars, building underground facilities that they can escape to when the Menorah hits the fan. World War III, incoming nuclear missiles. Don't worry, hop on a plane, a train, a bus, whatever, and get to the underground city that the public doesn't know about. Is that what they're thinking? Stocked up with all kinds of food and wine and linen and TVs and videos. Crazy. But that's what they're doing, according to all the stuff I research. So what do the government powers that be prioritize? What are they really after? What are they really doing? And you know, should the United States destroy and conquer the whole world? Well, I don't think that's a consensus amongst we the people, the citizens. We're left out of the whole decision-making process. Actually, it appears we're destined to be the enemy, and they're going to either bag or tag us. You either accept your tag, the 666 mark of the beast, so you can buy or sell and be an obedient citizen, or, as has been mentioned in the media, you can be executed, maybe enslaved to work at one of their factories, like the Hunger Games movie. You ponder what's in the news and you see all this stuff going on. What else is a person supposed to think? And you see this. United States to get second Dark Eagle missile battery with Mach 5 speed, 1,700 mile range next year. This is June 14th, 2 days ago. The United States Army has announced plans to deploy its second Dark Eagle hypersonic missile battery in 2026. Remember, they have something called Agenda 2030. Look it up. And they had an Agenda 2025 also. Look it up. That's where the Deagle report said that the United States would have 87 million people, and a lot of other predominantly white populated countries were supposed to have a steep decline, while apparently the people of color in other areas of the world were supposed to have slight increases. Is that the plan? I don't make this stuff up. You can look it up. I do have copies of the Deagle report. When I did find it when it was available, of course I made copies. Apparently they've scrubbed the internet and it's hard to get that evidence anymore since some of my previous videos. Alright, so this new battery, these weapons, will join the first that is already operational and currently undergoing testing and crew training. I don't know, what do you think? Is this where all the money should go? That's my question. The comment section, help me out here. See if I can find a place to set this down. Got off to a late start today. Might be a shorter video than normal. Anyways, the next document on a big fistful of documents. So the Moderna stock is falling on doubts over a new CDC panel backing of the RSV vaccine. I think the whole vaccination industry should be shut down, personally. You shouldn't be pumping garbage into the body because you're saying it helps the body develop a stronger immune system. So let's just put some garbage into the body, all kinds of stuff, heavy metals, apparently genetic material from dead babies and other crazy bacteria, and apparently nanobots and the stuff that gunks up your system. The stuff that's been reported and the adverse reactions, people falling over dead, getting illnesses for the rest of their life, heart palpitations, myocarditis. I could go on and on. That's another whole video. So Moderna shares fell by 2.3% on Friday. Concerns over whether a new CDC advisory panel would back the use of the company's respiratory syncytial vaccine. Respiratory problems. I suspect the respiratory problems come from two obvious sources coming out of the gate. All of the microwave radiations, 5G, 6G, 4G, Doppler radar, airport SAGE radar, satellites, Wi-Fi systems, everything, the whole world's being turned into a gigantic interacted electromagnetic microwave, sonic wave, radio wave, apparently supposed to be under the control of artificial intelligence supercomputers. I think that might cause respiratory problems. if I'm correct. Microwaving we the people. I suspect the bees and the bugs and all the animals and the fish and everything else is probably having respiratory problems. All those things that are dying, including trees and plants. The mRNA gene editing technology based RSV shot secured U.S. approval on Thursday for use as a at-risk adults. So whoever they say might be at risk, like sick people or elderly people, let's just give them a shot of something that's full of all kinds of garbage that's supposed to attack their body so their immune system gets kicked into gear and gets that old geezer out of bed. Actually, he never gets out of bed again. He gets put on a respirator and bye-bye. Tell me where I'm wrong. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, please, explanation. Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. I don't want to be spewing out misinformation. That's what they want to call it. You can't talk like this in the future. Read the book 1984. Censorship should be off the chart in the not too distant future. So anyways, apparently Health Secretary Robert Kennedy replaced all 17 members of a key panel. So you got to wonder about all this replacement of personnel. Elon Musk and the Project Dodge and Donald Trump and all this other stuff. Somebody, without a doubt, is reorganizing the controlling leadership and people in positions of power all over the USA and I suspect the world. And there looks like they're preparing for some huge catastrophic event. So we know, as one president said, nothing happens by accident. Everything is planned. So whatever the plan is, a lot of people had to be pushed out and a lot of new people had to be pushed in. And I don't think it's for our benefit. So when you saw this title, if you saw it, what were you thinking about? Were you looking at the bigger picture? Okay, so Israel attacked Iran. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what to tell you. It is mid-June, and this is called the mid-June 2025 current news update, because I think that it's a critical time in history, mid-June 2025. A lot of people are predicting more crazy stuff this month. Remember, the 20th is the summer solstice. So that would be an occultic witchcraft holiday. So you got the summer solstice where the sun is at the highest point in the north, and then the winter solstice, December 21st, where it's in the most southern point. Then you got a halfway between those two, and that's on the equinox. And apparently these celestial events are witchcraft, occultic holidays, special days when apparently they can enhance the outcome of some of their satanic rituals. Believe it or not, December 21st. And that's the, Jesus was born on the 25th. So if December 21st was the date when the sun goes to the furthest point to the south, it gone as far as it can go. Then it starts to come back again, December 22nd. But actually, it kind of stalls out for the first 3 days. Did you know that? So the sun gets to the furthest southerly point on the 21st. It kind of stalls out, doesn't move very much, to the 22nd, 23rd, and then 24th. And then it starts to come back towards the north on the 25th. It starts to rise. The sun starts to rise towards the north again. Jesus, they say, is born on the 25th. The sun starts to come back to the north on the 25th. A lot of these ancient deities, these ancient gods, are all given the birth date of the 25th of December. So a lot of people say that Jesus wasn't really born on that date, but they just changed it so it would coincide with all of the other historical deities, gods, that they had the birth date December 25th, which again was a winter solstice, and 3 days later when the sun starts to move towards the north. So the equinox is halfway between the solstices, and the summer solstice, winter solstice. Apparently, if you look up witchcraft holidays, etc., occultic holidays on your computer, you will see the significance of those days. I only mention that because that's when a lot of these nasty events happen, and it's coming up right away. Israel is destroying itself by attacking Iran, and millions could die. Colonel Douglas McGregor. So, again, nothing happens by accident. Everything is planned. Somebody, apparently Israel, the people calling themselves the Illuminati, the Zionist, the other world elite, satanic world elite, pushing this new world order, great reset, global world order, build back better, whatever words they use. COVID-19, the Great Reset, a book published in 2020 by the Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab himself. They're telling us. So this means that the attack on Iran was planned and intelligently calculated. Please, if nothing else, remember that. It's all a plan, and there's a scheduled outcome. And it's probably a beginning of a current set of dominoes. One happens, then hits the next domino, boing, 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 boing. And of course, the dominoes preceding this have been played. Domino World War I, Domino World War II, Domino 911, Domino Worldwide Lockdown. Those were some big dominoes. Back up even further, the war between the North and the South in the USA, domino. Civil wars all over Europe. Boom, 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 boom. And they all have intentional actions so they can expect a reaction, so they can make a determined outcome. Problem, solution. Problem, reaction, solution. So you create the problem, you control the reaction, and the outcome is the solution you want. Common knowledge if you've been doing any research. So what do you think? Knowing this is the way the world feels like now. God calls latter-day Jerusalem and Sodom and Egypt. 1996 Telecommunications Act monopolized the press and allow the Edomites to buy up their own. The entire press, radio stations, they control everything. So they control all the media, they control AI, they control the banking system, they control the money. So again, this attacking Iran was a calculated, an intelligence decision by the powerful elite, just like the so-called Hamas attack on Israel to decimate and cause genocide in Palestine, just like they're doing in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and apparently now pushing forward to do Iran. And so they have to drag the USA and probably Russia and China and the UK and Canada and the whole world into this terrible situation. Again, all planned. That's my opinion. Again, if you think I'm wrong, if you want to sit there and say, hey, Rick, you know, those Iranians are evil. Those Iraqis were all evil. The Palestine people were all evil. If you want to say that, go ahead, lie to yourself. But you can't lie from the God. You can't lie when it's your time to leave this world and go across the veil into the spiritual realm. The truth will prevail. Judgment will prevail. So what about Ukraine? This is just articles I look on my computer. I go to my homepage. I don't go digging deep into the browser and go to page and have to hunt this stuff up. It's right on the first page most of the time. If I scroll down, or if I'm looking for something, I plug in a keyword. And if you put in these articles on a search, you're going to find out almost all the newspapers all over the world are publishing the same thing at the same time. Once it gets put into the system, Associated Press, Reuters, whatever. So some journalist writes up this fictional information, propaganda, if you will, puts it into the system, and it comes up in the computers of all the other newspapers and magazines and news stations all over the world, and boom, this is the news. The whole world, billions of people got that news in minutes. Ukraine says Iran is source of numerous problems beyond Middle East. So even Ukraine is shouting, Iran is a source of numerous problems. Ukraine, the country known for the Jewish mafia. You know, we're using social media in 2014 to topple the fairly elected and beloved man, president, who wanted to get along with Russia and Israel and America and the world. This was the one they elected president in 2014 in Ukraine. So, of course, he had to go. He wasn't going to fit the plan. And you say, what's the plan, Rick? Well, you go to the Jerusalem Post, Israel's largest newspaper, and just type in Heavenly Jerusalem. Heavenly Jerusalem. And that's the dream of all the Jews who are called Ashkenazi. There's different kinds of Jewish people. Depends on apparently where they came from. So the old Jews during Jesus' time would have been Hebrews. Yay? Nay? You know what a Hebrew is? Well, you know, at least you could think it would have been an Arab. You know, that kind of DNA, skin, desert people, wanderers. I believe Hebrew means bandits, by the way. Bandits. Hebrews, bandits. The Hebrews that were enslaved in Egypt, Hebrew means bandits. So these desert wanderers, bandits, were rounded up and enslaved. Bandits. And besides the Hebrews, there would have been other Arabs and dark-skinned colored people, because it's the desert. It's adjoining Asia. But wait a minute, most of the people who call themselves Jews are really, you know, white. Why? Because they're from Khazaria, which is now called Ukraine. So they control the whole world. They can have anything they want. And of course, they're going to want to retake their homeland, Khazaria. Go look on a map, Khazaria. And so they're calling Ukraine Heavenly Jerusalem. And the current president, Zelensky, is Jewish. And they even have plans for developing and rebuilding Ukraine after they destroy everything. So the same plans they have for Palestine, building this utopia resorts and everything, as Donald Trump told us, in Palestine when they genocide and all the people and demolish all the buildings, they have the same plans for Ukraine because they're calling it Heavenly Jerusalem. So these people who plan on taking control of the whole world apparently want to have the Ukraine area, formerly Khazars, and they're calling Iran a source of numerous problems. Remember, apparently Russia attacked Ukraine because they had 30 biological weapon laboratories. I don't know about you, but with the conflicts they were having, Russia and the Ukraine area were already having conflicts. And apparently the Ukraine area was being backed by Israel and the United States and the other allied powers, ruled by the Zionist satanic elite, not the people of the UK, not the people of Germany, not the people of France, not the people of the USA, not the people of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Venezuela, Brazil, China, India, everywhere. It's never we the people. But they're trying to portray that. But all these elites are all working in cahoots together, like they did in the 2020 worldwide lockdown, and all cooperated and used the media and were scaring people half to death. Go get vaccinated. Then people were dropping over dead and all kinds of other weird things going on. You ran out of breath just talking about this. It's too much to talk about. So when Ukraine says Iran is the source of numerous problems, and we know that they've been, the Israelis have been bashing and just dying to be able to destroy Iran, and probably because Iran is a rather large country with advanced technologies, etc., and you certainly can't genocide all the other peoples with that country right nearby and all the other countries that have already been decimated, because they might try to protect themselves and save themselves. So you got to make all kinds of fabricated excuses and stories, and everything happens for a reason, and the timing is everything. So just be aware on June 16th, today, Monday, all this happens for a reason. And the media is owned and controlled by them. And so they're going to tell you what they want you to think. And it's a huge deception. If anybody disagrees with me, comment section, please. All right, then we had Saturday. That was a bizarre thing. Trump's military parade in Washington, D.C. is coming together. Here's how you can watch it. I did not watch it. At 6 o'clock, I did go to the TV. I have antenna TV. I don't have cable TV. I have the internet. I could watch Amazon Prime or Paramount or Netflix if I wanted to, whatever. But if I want to watch the news or TV or whatever, you get about 20 different channels with antenna TV. So anybody out there having any kind of financial difficulties and you're paying a $60, $70, $80 a month bill on your cable, ditch it. First of all, it's a bunch of garbage. Ditch it and go out and buy a $30 antenna. And your TV, all these modern TVs, will auto-program itself. You can just select it. And you can have 20, 30 channels or more, depending on your area, for free. And if you have the internet, so get rid of the cable, get your $30 internet, and you still get all the movies. Anyways, side topic there. Get rid of cable. So this whole show, $45 million for a parade. Everything happens for a reason. Trump even said $45 million was an expensive price tag, but it'll well be worth it. So why do you think they did it? What kind of show of force for the world? What kind of ritual? I have to go check the witchcraft holidays and see if there's a day, that day, that's some kind of significant occult holiday. President Donald Trump achieved his goal of holding a military parade. So they had Dodge to get all of the excessive wasted government money stopped. And they say they, raked in $500 million or something, savings, firing a bunch of people, closing agencies, which I think is just a ruse. Again, it's a deception. So they're doing all that, and then the next thing you snap your fingers, we're going to spend $45 million on a parade. Does something add up to you? We're going to save all this money, get rid of all these people. Now they're not going to pay mortgages or pay rent or buy groceries or send their kids to school and save all that money because we really need it, reduce the budget. But wait a minute, the new budget adds $2 more trillion to the top of the old budget, so they weren't saving anything. And to top that off, let's just have a glorified parade for $45 million. Why not? Don't worry about the whole thing collapsing. They've got underground bunkers to escape to. It looks like they're trying to get rid of a bunch of people in Hawaii. Maybe they got Hawaii as one of their escape plans. And huge developments in South America, etc. I've seen those programs on TV. They got these beautiful communities with all these homes and everything near the water for all these people who want to have second homes so they can escape to when they need to escape the rest of the world. You seen the programs? It's crazy. Anyways, seems like an insane thing to do at this time, but I am reminded, if you look at this picture, everything happens for a reason. So if they really want to decimate Iran, they really got to make it look good. And in the news, they're really making it look good. Israel's defense minister warns Tehran will burn if Iran continues firing missiles. So you can fire missiles at Iran, but if they retaliate and send the missiles back, because you sent the missiles over, I gave my fingers right here, so you're going to send the missiles back. You're going to burn if you fire missiles back at us after us firing them at you. That's what it says. So apparently that's the way it is all over the world. They can do whatever they want to do to everybody else. Anybody who acts like they're not happy with their own destruction, well then, you are now top priority enemy. Woe to you for being upset that they're genociding the Palestine people. What is it any of your business? Aren't you getting your checks and money there in the United States and the UK and Germany and France? It's none of your business. The so-called Zionist Jewish people, that's been their land forever. And they're just getting it back. But wait a minute, they're not even from there. Most of the dominant Jewish people are as white as me. And because they're called Ashkenazi Jews. The Hebrews and the Jews from the desert are called Sephardic Jews. You go look this stuff up. Then they got Ethiopian Jews. A little bit of too much information for some people. They don't want to dig that deep in their consciousness and say, well, that doesn't make sense, Rick. If they're from they're Ashkenazi and they're from Khazaria, now called Ukraine, why would they be saying this is their country and this they're God's chosen people? We're not even related to anybody living in the Middle East. But that's been reported by so many people. But again, apparently nobody wants to pay attention, I guess. This guy drives me crazy. Look at his ego. He's always up there dancing while the rest of the world is going through a lot of bizarre activities. Storms, floods, hurricanes, factories burning, planes crashing into them, killing animals, bird flu, swine flu, weather control, sky spraying, accusations of racism and hatred, and just trying to destroy religious people and bring on all this perverted LGBTQ, XYZ, whatever they're calling it. Turn the whole world into a total freak show. And those of us who may say, this isn't right, you're the enemy now. AI is watching you. Get into compliance. If you want to live in the New World Order, get your mark of the beast. Get your thing injected into your forehead or your arm and scan it when you want to buy or sell something. Even Hillary Clinton said, not everybody's going to make it. Personally, I don't want to be in the New World Order, if that's the way they're going to run it. Anyways, Trump just got some bad news before the G7 conference, June 11th. Trump's chaotic, spite-filled policies on trade and aid have left traditional allies to look elsewhere and form stronger ties amongst themselves. The New York Times reports that traditional allies like Japan, Britain, Canada, France, and others are working more closely together as they look to build an alliance without the United States. So I'd say somebody is trying to demonize the United States so it is ostracized and hated by the rest of the world. How do you feel about that if you're a U.S. citizen? They're painting us as the scourge of the world. Well, why would they want to do that? Are they planning some kind of huge destruction? Wait a minute, Deagle report, 87 million people. So maybe if the whole world hates us, it won't be so upset when a whole lot of people get destroyed and the Deagle report comes true. I'm just thinking. Is thinking aloud? Is thinking misinformation? Is thinking a crime? Well, yes, in the future it is. So they tell us. All right. This is crazy. Let's go back to the very first article here. So the U.S. gets its second Dark Eagle missile battery. So we got all these hypersonic missiles and everything. And what is Russia doing? Russian Putin calls for quick development of drone forces. All right, so everybody needs to mass produce drones. So you can kind of see what this new world is going to look like everywhere you look. Drones, 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 controlled by AI, monitoring you. And if you're not in compliance, did you get your mark of the beast? Did you do something you weren't supposed to do? Were you burning some wood? Did you have some chickens? If you didn't get your chickens from the gene editing egg manufacturing facilities, or who knows what is in the eggs and what is in the chickens. And of course, a lot of it's supposed to be fake meat made from waste. So you want to get your own fresh chicken meat, your own fresh eggs. Maybe you want to have some rabbits, so you can have some rabbit meat. Pigs. What if it's all against the rules, the New World Order rules? And AI is watching you everywhere, monitoring, listening to your conversation. So the last thing you want to do is start drooling over some ribs, saying how good it is in your living room when all of this will be criminalized. You might want to keep it down. So AI, over there running the refrigerator, or the TV, or your car, or sonic signals, words, vibrations read right through the wall. A lot of things you're going to have to hide. So that's what Russia wants to do. Everybody wants to gear up and arm up and have all kinds of weapons, spending the taxpayers' money on that. Forget about health care and anything else that's beneficial to we the people. Doesn't look like they want to do anything that's beneficial to we the people. Just my opinion. So this is in the paper, the 12th. Israel attacks Iran's nuclear and missile sites, prompting Iranian drone strike retaliation. So where did Israel get their nuclear weapons? And all their other weapons? Espionage. United States. Apparently Israel has been cited as the country that's spying mostly on the USA. So our best friend that we're going to die for, apparently, send all the soldiers over there to just go to the front lines and or gas them to death or whatever. They spy on us the most. And of course they control the government and they get billions of dollars every year, probably a lot more than that. So this is an intentional situation. Israel attacks Iran. So it happened at a chosen time so that the dominoes will fall in the near future. Today, tomorrow, the 20th of June, summer solstice, Halloween. What is going to happen in 2025 that could possibly kill so many people that the Deagle report would say there's only 87 million people in 2025? All right, what else have I got? I got a whole stack of documents here. So, President Trump's spokesperson, Levitt storms. So Levitt storms out of the press briefing over free speech grilling. So, reporters are raising their hand. What about free speech? What about disclosure? What are you doing? You tell us why. Asking questions they don't want you to ask. So what's the best thing to do? Just storm out of press briefing over free speech grilling. June 11th, the day before Israel attacks Iran. So White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt abruptly ended a news conference after facing tough questions over free speech. Now, what kind of questions could be tough over free speech? We either have free speech or we don't. That's a bit concerning to me because I kind of say what's on my mind. I kind of say what I'm logically thinking. I'd like to think I'm, a little bit intelligent. I can figure things out. But apparently I might be too intelligent and aware for my own good. Because crazy things are happening. California National Guard, over there in California, people trying to protest against this, calling it a no kings thing. And again, I'm reminded to myself, that whole no kings thing and all those protests. How did people from the West Coast to the East Coast to the North states and the Southern states, how did everybody know on the same day, and we're to get to be protesting, rising up, and having all those signs and all that stuff? That's a lot of logistics. Travel plans and places to stay and calling somebody up and getting the signs made and the costumes and all that. It was all orchestrated. Does anybody doubt that? You're watching this video. Does anybody doubt that that was all planned for a reason? The day of the parade. And also, apparently, Donald Trump's birthday. Talk about insane. Just to try to figure this out, scramble your brain. I see another article here. I might want to point something out. So the things that are happening in the USA, we're most people are a little bit, or maybe a lot, myopic. They only see what's in front of them. They don't see the rest of the world. But this destruction going on in the USA, this deception, this control, this inflation, all this stuff, this legislation, is happening in other countries too, This is a worldwide thing. They all have their different leaders everywhere, but they're all organized together. What to know after anti-immigration violence flares up in Northern Ireland town. So they're pumping in all those immigrants into Ireland too. And apparently people say in the UK, you can't recognize the UK. I mean, it's just full of people of color. And even President Joe Biden was bragging that sooner than later, the white people would be a minority all over the world. And apparently, continue to go down, down, down. So maybe they feel the white people are courageous and intelligent, like the Germans or the Irish or whatever. And the Canadians and other people they're trying to suppress and control. So they have to discredit us, destroy us, etc. So maybe they think that they'll be able to win their satanic world order. I guess they think that we might be a threat to that. Not that the people of color are not in danger also. Lord knows how many people they've killed in South America and Africa and Asia. Oh, it's off the chart. So what to know after anti-immigration violence flares up in Northern Ireland town? Do you read this stuff? Do you think about it? You realize it's a big plan? They're doing it everywhere. Protesters tried to throw items at the police, who used water cannons to clear them in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. So they're even having protests in Ireland, and the police are using water cannons on the people. They got plans. Here in America, apparently, probably all over the world, they have microwave dishes on top of trucks. They're called crowd control devices. So you get a mob of people coming at the Capitol building. And you get the trucks out front with microwave dishes. And you microwave them. Start microwaving the citizens. I don't even want to talk about the 10, 20,000 low-orbit microwave transmitting satellites Elon Musk and Amazon are putting up there, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, etc., and others, along with DARPA and other government organizations. It's all a plan. It's almost like it should be afraid to go to my computer and look at the reports. I can't keep up with them. Israel attacks Iran nuclear and missile sites with explosions heard across Tehran. Do we the people even stand a chance? Will anybody wake up and do anything? It gets crazier. It gets crazier. Hegseth all but confirms Trump plans to take Greenland by force. This guy's a character. You see the pictures of him at the pool with all of his tattoos and everything? He's a character. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth refused Thursday to answer a simple question about Trump administration plans for Greenland, implying that the U.S. military had drawn up plans to take the country by force. So what do you think about that? Should the United States be taking Greenland by force? Again, everything is planned. Why would they need that? Looks like it might be a great place to put a bunch of those second Dark Eagle missile battery sites. Looks like I got some water on my desk here. You're completely unprepared for what the Tesla's robotaxi actually looks like. So what do the Elon Musk robotaxis actually look like? So the biggest thing I want to say here is that Elon Musk, if you don't know this, as a child and young person, was into the occult, apparently practicing black magic. Donald Trump had a Kabbalah teacher, which is black magic. I don't care what people think. When they have this training, Kabbalah, witchcraft activities, mantras, abracadabra, hocus pocus, bring the aliens into view, summon the UFOs, CERN colliders with the goddess of Shiva out front, all the occultic symbols and numbers and special holidays where the rituals are performed, where they get special powers like astrology. So what do these robo-taxis look like? But don't expect your socks to be blown off. As seen by a bystander's footage taken in Austin, Texas, that Elon Musk has proudly reshared. It's literally just like a black Model Y with the word robo-taxi scrawled on the side. Painfully outdated graffiti font. The future is truly upon us. Beautifully simple design, Musk tweeted. To be clear, it isn't a cybercab. Tesla's currently in development car that's supposed to function exclusively used as the autonomous taxi with an extremely boneheaded design that features only 2 seats and no steering wheel. It certainly sounds like a very bizarre future coming from a very bizarre man. And I mean the guy also in the White House too. Not that the guy before him was any better, or the one before him was any better, or the one before him was any better. Apparently, The evil people have been stacking the deck. What else have I got here? I watch videos, listen to things, so I go look it up. So this is an interesting thing here. How to stop your smart TV from spying on you. So this is an important thing to think about and to know about. But apparently in those big screen TVs, and maybe the small ones too, you got little cameras hidden somewhere. When you're watching the TV, I don't care if you're watching antenna TV, you're on the internet, you're watching cable, they got a camera. Somebody on the other end in some room or something, or AI, is watching you. So I looked it up. Is my smart TV watching me? Is my smart TV watching me? Please go look it up. How to stop your smart TV from spying on you. How to turn off smart TV snooping features. So on videos, they got all these videos, TV spying. So there's no shortage of information for you to get informed. I can think of a lot of things people would do in their living room and their bedrooms in front of the TV. You might want to rethink that. Certainly, get a group of people together and plotting and planning to free our country. And your TV is spying on you, and there you are. Your smart TV is tracking you. Yes, your TV is watching you. This is all the search results. Is your TV watching you? How to stop your smart TV spying? How to stop any smart TV from spying? Is your smart TV listening to you? So, when I used to do these searches, it used to give you a number of the total search results, like 1 million, 10 million, whatever, 200,000. It looks like they've taken that feature away. I wonder why. Anyways, you can search it. Is my smart TV watching me? You can watch videos. These are just 2 pages of search results. Here's the other page, more videos to watch. Just an FYI. What's the next one I get? Getting vaccinated is voluntary euthanasia. So if you feel like, it's just my opinion, if you're feeling kind of suicidal, you're depressed, you want to get off this rock, I suppose one way would be the vaccinations. I just say that. I'm an anti-vaxxer. I come right out of the gate. The word vaccination itself in a numerology calculator is 666. I kid you not. A is 6, B is 12, C is 18, D is 24. So just draw out the alphabet and keep adding 6. For example, K is the 11th letter. So 11 times 6 is 66. And then you got the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. So that would be 666666. So there is something to it. The word computer is 666. A is 6, B is 12, C is 18, D is 24, etc. Monsanto, genetically modified foods and animals and pesticides, herbicides. Monsanto is 666. New York, known as the Big Apple, Adam and Eve and the apple, the bite out of the apple. New York is 666. So I'm just saying, there's something to it. Computer, vaccination, 666. Santa Claus, a guy in red, sneaking into the house to get stuff for the kids, using magic. Santa Claus is 666. There's a lot of words. I keep mentioning it. What else have I got here? Just going to try to eat up a little bit of time here and get these documents off my desk. A new COVID-19 strain has landed in New York. Here's what to know about it. So I'm either watching videos or this is a article. I just take screenshots. Here's one with Jason Bassler, whoever he is. Just stuff I took a screenshot of. Real ID enforcement. That's coming. Surveillance stablecoins. AI biometric entry-exit systems. Palantir building a master database. FedEx trucks equipped with license plate readers. FedEx trucks equipped with license plate readers. So everything, the whole system. ICE using facial recognition to monitor online dissent. 2025, directed by Orwell. Produced by Palantir. So all the stuff that's going on is not my imagination or your imagination. Here's a funny one, if you call it funny. Maybe ironic. It's actually sad. An abandoned ship full of EVs, electric vehicles, is burning in the Pacific. So a whole ship of electric cars and those lithium batteries, apparently they can spontaneous combust. Can you imagine having a whole cargo ship full of them? And one goes, it gets the next one, it gets the next one. That would be one heck of a chemical soup in the ocean. I heard some news about watching some videos. Remember 2012? Planet Nibiru? Apparently there's a dark body out there floating in space called the Destroyer. So they put out there. So every now and then I go on Nancy Leader's website, Zeta Talk, just so I can get some current events. And apparently this huge body was spotted between the Earth and the Sun. So it's supposed to be huge. On May 25, Nibiru's presence hit the press in Russia. Simultaneously on TV and in the printed and online media, as though it were a coordinated announcement, the object was sighted on Soho, S-O-H-O. They got this feature on the internet, Soho. You can see pictures, live images of the sun. I suggest you check it out. Very interesting to see the images live as they go with the sunspots. A lot of sunspots, a lack of sunspots. Get educated about what that satellite's showing you. So they're saying to see this gigantic thing, maybe headed our way. Looks like a bird with wings. Wow, that's a pretty common symbol for the occult. The bird with the wings. Estimated 10 times larger than Earth. So this planet Nibiru, the Destroyer, is 10 times bigger than the Earth. Double helix, dominant moon swirling behind. So you can go on Nancy Leader, Zeta Talk, and see this current information when you start watching videos and people start talking about this stuff. She has all the information over the years, all the history, May 2025. And further back, page after page of her documenting this for years, whether it's true or false. I try to pay attention to everything. Oh boy, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You know, you want to be healthy. I'm going to make a big salad. I'm going to run down to the store and I'm going to get some greens and some tomatoes and some cucumbers and some onions, etc., etc. And vaccines in your salad. Scientists growing medicine-filled plants to replace injections. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Vaccines in your salad. How diabolical can they be? So what are the repercussions of all this stuff they're putting into people? Whether it's the food, the air, the radiation, the vaccination. What's going on? What should we be concerned about? Why so many people are having strokes in their 20s and 30s and 40s. We've never had so many patients so young. That was on a redacted video. Seems to debunk COVID as cause and promote R. Kennedy. So you don't know what to believe when you see this stuff in the news. So apparently there's been some reporting. COVID-19 vaccination and cardiovascular events, systematic review, Bayesian multivariant meta-analysis, preventive benefits and risk. So apparently some reports have come out that there are some serious adverse reactions to getting the vaccinations. And they're going to be putting it, if they haven't already, in the meat and vegetables. And they're spraying crazy stuff in the sky. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Coming for us, expert sounds alarm on the Communist Party's mission to kill Americans after the FBI makes shocking arrest. So apparently there were a couple Chinese people bringing some kind of biological pathogen, dangerous biological pathogen, to Chinese nationals. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. They're going to have somebody to blame whenever what happens. Look at what they've done with smuggling fentanyl precursor into the country to kill Americans. Look at the efforts of them failing to stop the spread of COVID-19. Solobic said, dead Americans. Anyways, pay attention. If it's in the news, it's a reason for being in the news. I mean, are the Chinese evil? Are the Russians evil? Are the Iranians evil? Were the Germans evil? Is there anybody out there that's not evil the way this is looking, except for those people with the little tiny hats? The synagogue of Satan folks are supposed to be God's chosen people. Okay, which God? That's where the little trick comes in. They don't want to tell you which God. All over the world this stuff is going on. Australia unleashes twin AI supercomputers and push to lead medical and climate research. So we need giant supercomputers with AI to do climate research. It's for climate control. They lie. They lie. Medical and climate research. They're genetically engineering humanity, if you don't know that. It's been done before. I have information on that. Biblically, it's the fallen angels mating with humans. See what else I got left here. I was reading one report. This one. The Athena Agenda, advancing the Apollo program for biodefense. 2022. So I was reading that report, and it said, it mentioned on July 4th, 2025, a virus hitting the United States, maybe the world. They called it the Nipah virus, Nipah. So I looked it up. July 4th. How many days is that? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days away, according to that report I just showed you. It was a mock story, like an event that they said happened in July 4th, 2025, about a virus hitting the United States. And this is what they called it, the Nipah virus. So I looked it up. The Nipah virus infection in human causes a range of clinical presentations from asymptomatic infection to acute respiratory infection and fatal encephalitis. Wow, that's what's supposed to hit us according to the mock report for July 4th, 2025. The case fatality rate is estimated at 40 to 75%. 40 to 75% fatality rate, scheduled for July 4th, 2025. Wait a minute, I'm thinking about the Deagle report, which said we would only have 87 million people. So if you had to get rid of a bunch of people from 340 to get 87, I suppose these numbers would work. 45 to 75% case fatality. This rate can vary by outbreak depending on local capabilities of epidemiological surveillance and clinical management. Nipah virus can be transmitted to humans from animals such as bat or pigs, contaminated foods, and also be transmitted directly from human to human. Fruit bats of the Petropedial family are the natural host of the Nipah virus. There is no treatment or vaccine available for either people or animals. Oh my. The primary treatment is supportive care with a 40 to 75% fatality rate. That sounds like the Black Plague or something. The 2018 annual review of the WHO Research and Development Blueprint lists the priority disease indicates that there is an urgent need for accelerated research and development of the Nipah virus. So they want to research and develop this little booger. 30 May 2018. So you can go look it up. I highly suggest it. It's in the prediction for July 4th, 2025. So it has 4 pages here. Signs and symptoms, diagnosis. Well, I can understand what respiratory problems are. You're gasping for air. You're dying. Treatment. There are currently no drugs or vaccines specific for Nipah virus infection. Natural host fruit bats, Nipah virus in domestic animals. So they're everywhere, all around us, and they've been researching this for quite a while, and it was in that mock event for July 4th, 2025. And again, I want to just show you this. So you can look it up. You can see that I looked it up. The Athena agenda. Look it up. Print it out like I did. April 2022. Numerous pages here. Acknowledgements. All of the usual suspects. Table of contents. What definition? Present, appearing, found elsewhere, existing, or being everywhere, present in all places at the same time. So this is the description. Develop vaccine candidates for prototype pathogens. So the developing vaccine candidates for prototype pathogens. Prototypes are like examples, laboratory created pathogens. Pathogens are dangerous to humans, pathogens. So just imagine little bacterial pathogens and chemical pathogens and virus pathogens. And apparently, according to the Athena agenda, so you can look this up and get these 20 pages print out like I did. Actually, it's 116 pages. I just printed out some of them. Develop therapeutic drugs in advance of outbreaks. So all this is anticipated. This is a 2018 document. Develop flexible and scalable manufacturing for pharmaceuticals. Develop needle-free methods of drug and vaccine administration. Identify and increase ubiquitous sequencing. So they're creating all this stuff. Develop massively multiplex detection capabilities. Establish digital pathogen surveillance. So even AI will be out there looking for all the pathogens. Spying everywhere. In your living room, through your TV. Develop a national public health data system. Establish a national pathogen surveillance and forecasting center. Technologies to deter and prevent biological attacks. I can only suggest you do what I did. Just go look it up. You'll see on the very first page of your search, and a 116-page report, copy and paste it into a Word document or download a PDF. Read it. It's what's scheduled to hit us July 4th, 2025. All right, am I going to be able to finish these documents? This is crazy. Some far left groups have encouraged peaceful protests to turn violent, experts say. So apparently, like I said, all this is organized, all those protests. So some of these left groups have encouraged peaceful protests to turn violent. So it's been paid for. It's been, look at this guy with the mask on and a skateboard smashing up police cars. The police are allowing this to happen. The police have guns. They could stop this. But again, it's all for a reason. So I'm on my computer. I'm seeing the pictures. I'm reading this article. All meant for public consumption, like Donald Trump getting shot in the ear and raising his hand and screaming, "Fight, fight." It's all for public consumption. See? There's the protest. There's the fire. There's his fist. The world's a stage. And we're all being taken for fools. All right, I'm getting there. Almost done here. Been a while since I made a video. So you saw those new hypersonic missiles at the beginning of this video. The second Dark Eagle missile battery. So here's another article on it. Mysterious shipping container. Rocket launchers spotted at Trump's visit to Fort Bragg. So apparently they got shipping containers, which are on your highways everywhere. And these rocket launchers fit inside. Apparently the roof can pop open. So these things could be anywhere. Look at this. Battleground USA. What could go wrong? Who are the enemy? Pages and pages on this article. getting the whole world to hate us. Just saying, I'm on my computer. There you go. Mysterious shipping container rocket launcher. This was on June 10th, 6 days ago. I got another page here. So there's your shipping container. So you don't know what's going on down your highway. Shipping container. What could be inside? That's a loaded thought there. Protesters and agitators. Protesters or agitators. Who is driving chaos at LA immigration protests? So all this is staged. Those people are paid. It's been exposed. Just think about it. This is the USA. You're just going to allow some protesters to be destroying the country. But you got to make it look real. All right, almost done. Walmart is expanding its 30-minute drone delivery service to 100 additional locations. So there's your package coming on a drone. June 10th. Check if your city made the cut. I don't want drones flying around my area. Do you? Walmart announced plans to expand its drone delivery service to 5 additional major cities. The major cities are Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, Orlando, and Tampa. Orlando and Tampa. Those are major cities with lots of people. Drones everywhere. What could go wrong with that? Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston. Crazy. Then, of course, they want we the people to be in 15-minute cities. You can't leave your little territory where you're assigned. To live and die. To work, sleep, eat, play, whatever, in your 15-minute area. You want to leave? Permission. You don't get permission, you leave? Your implanted ID chip will turn off. You won't be able to spend any money, do anything. The drone will be flying by. AI on some TV in the downtown on a camera will be watching you. And your little numbers won't come up. Your transponder's not working. Or it will be working and it comes up that you're an escaped criminal from Section 18 of your 15-minute city. You think I'm kidding. A school shooting in the Austrian city of Graz leaves at least 8 people suspected, gunmen dead. So even over there in Germany and Austria, they got the false flags and shootings. Again, it's for public consumption, so you can have problem, reaction, solution. So it's got to appear like we the people are all capable of being insane, crazed shooters. So we all got to be watched. Surveillance. And while they're running a depopulation program with planned pathogens, viruses, whatever, even in the food you go buy, the salad or whatever. Zelensky said the U.S. directed 20,000 anti-drone missiles intended for Ukraine to the Middle East. So what's in the Middle East? Israel? So 20,000 anti-drone missiles that were supposed to go to Ukraine that Israel was calling Heavenly Jerusalem. So you can see what the priority of the people who control our world, all countries everywhere. All this weapons development and demonization of the citizens and surveillance systems and toxins and poisons and pathogens in the food, in the air, in the vaccinations and everywhere. And that is that. I get to put this stuff away. And I know I'm crazy. I'll continue to see things like this and print out the page so I don't forget and have another report. So this is the year 2025 Rick Miracle Report number 19, mid-June 2025 current news update. Just thought it would be kind of interesting to take a snapshot from mid-June and maybe return at the end of June and see where we are. Thanks for watching my video. If you're so inclined and want to support my work, I could use some help. There is a link below in the notes section, or a P.O. box that you can mail me something. I'd appreciate it. Of course, download my videos, repost them wherever you might have access. Somebody needs to be putting all these videos on anything goes social media sites that were censoring people. I'm not going to say the names. You know who they are. But apparently the cat is let out of the bag. And I go on different social media sites that I was censored from. And everything is on there. They're wanting the word to get out everywhere. So maybe somebody's trying to get the people to rise up. We certainly can see they control the left. Pretty easy. A phone call here and a phone call there, and all the LGBTQs and Black Lives Matter and all the other people that are part of the freak show show up and get these masks on and smashing police cars and fires and shooting guns at traffic and all of that. In Ireland and Austria and Germany, Australia, New Zealand, all over the world this is going on. I don't think it's going to turn out quite well for we people. So I do want to say this before I end this video. It's a good time to assess the situation wherever you are. Do you have everything you need if you had to hunker down for 60 days? Because if this stuff went crazy, they collapse the system. This Nepal virus is let loose, whatever, and millions of people are dying everywhere, I would say the last thing you want to do is to get out there. But do you have what you need at home? Do you have some canned food? Do you have some aspirin? Do you have hydrogen peroxide? Do you have any batteries? Do you have an alternate energy system to charge up phones or other systems so you can listen on a radio or something? Do you have access to water? Just saying, are your vehicles always full? If the Menorah does hit the fan, don't be wasting your time driving around using up your fuel. You got to be very frugal, hunker down, take care of yourself. And I hope this is a wasted piece of advice. Hope nothing happens. And of course, they've been saying bad things are going to happen for the past 20 years in the world I live in, where I've been paying attention. But a lot of bad things have been happening to lots of people everywhere. So if it hasn't happened to you, it hasn't happened to you yet. Anyways, Rick Miracle reporting. Thank you for watching my video.